Look at these two outfits. Black blazer, blue jeans, but completely different energies. So you can't convince me otherwise that different forms, fit, and fabric do not change the entire vibe of seemingly the same base clothing items. Basics can be deceptive in the sense that at first glance you look at an outfit and think, oh, that looks really simple, I can recreate that. And then you try to and you're completely disappointed. But I'm here to tell you that yes, you can create your favorite outfits, but you just have to notice the little details that go into making an outfit what it is. So that's what this video is going to be about. We'll look at small tweaks, certain details that make the outfit go from zero to hero to add that extra flavor to it. As requested by you, this video covers both Western and ethnic staples, and it is almost like a sequel to the previous video, which is on looking polished and put together on a budget. And I'm so grateful to any of you who've joined me because of that video. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed this one. I want to start my video by referencing this Instagram account. It's a very interesting format where two or more women wearing the same identical clothing, down to the accessories, of course, deliberately, stand on the streets of London and ask passers-by to guess which outfit is expensive versus which one is cheap, which I think is such a fun exercise in training your eye to notice the little details that make a quality fabric or make a quality piece that goes beyond its pricing or a brand tag. I think it's like a fun mind game, but for fashion, and I really enjoy guessing each time the video comes up. It's also extremely relevant in today's time when we're spoiled for choices when it comes to shopping. So today we're covering fabric composition, construction details, foundation layers and staples, and accessories. Let's get going. As Indians, we're naturally found in our cotton habitat in the summer. Synthetics like polyester usually get a very bad reputation, but let me tell you, not all polyesters are created equal. There are varying degrees to its quality, and high quality polyester and polyester blends can actually feel buttery smooth. They hold structure beautifully, resist wrinkles, and are great for garments that solve a particular purpose or function like stretching, holding, supporting, absorbing, often even last longer than natural fabrics. My personal rule of thumb here is to mostly live in and wear natural fabrics throughout the day, throughout the week, and limit my use of polyester and poly blends to, say, my sports leggings for Pilates class, so maybe about an hour or two, and then my shapewear and innerwear pieces where I need them to perform a specific function, say when I have an occasion to attend to. Having said that, I am not a fan of synthetic fibers and synthetic blends when it comes to my ethnic wear. I'm extremely traditional there. I love my cotton kurtis. I also like to pair them with cotton bottoms. In fact, I have these linen pants from Uniqlo. These are very multi-purpose actually because I wear them with tops and also with kurtis. And there are also similar beige colored plazos that I have from West Side, which I can't find, but I wanted to show it to you. They come with a little lace detailing at the bottom. Now they're slightly thinner and go only with ethnic pieces, but this piece, a versatile piece like this one, is great because then you can pair it with many outfits, especially if it has a neutral color. This one also comes with pockets. It's a good investment. So as you can tell, fabric greatly determines the overall look of an outfit. Like I always say, read the label, look for high natural fiber content in your pieces, blends with a small percentage of polyester or elastane, typically 20% or less, also add durability to the product without cheapening the feel of it. You want to avoid thin and overly shiny synthetics because A, they can look tacky, but more importantly, they're also not last you as long. They wrinkle easily and lose shape fast. And while looking at the fabric composition is extremely important, I would go so far as to say that what might be even more important is actually the construction details, which is how your garment is made, how it is shaped. Are the seams clean? Are there any loose threads? Generally, shorter, tighter stitches which are evenly spaced out are a sign of good craftsmanship. They will also hold the seam tighter and therefore just be more durable. In contrast, loose, long stitches. They're very prone to snags, breakage, even stretching over time, and they just generally also look really sloppy. You just want to check there are no hanging threads. The seams are neat. They're reinforced at stress points like the waistband or the zip line or the underarms, which is nothing but a double stitch or multiple stitches to secure these areas which are prone to getting stretched. A hack here is to look at how the buttons are sewn on. If they're kind of loose and dangly, that gives you an idea that perhaps the rest of the finishing of the garment was also rushed. And this is what sets apart a basic t-shirt from something that looks a little more elevated. They look clean when the cut is clean, the fabric has weight, and the stitching is really well done. Let's bring back the first image we saw during the start of the video for contrast. The first one, which is a cinched waist blazer, has a more hourglass silhouette. The sleeves are slightly puffed at the arm and taper down to a narrower wrist, and that gives it a beautiful touch. It's really elegant and also contrasts very well the volume of the sleeves with the cinching of the waist. Then this is a single-breasted one-button blazer, and that one button, which is placed at the smallest part of the waist, also gives it that great hourglass silhouette. Enhances the tailored shape of the blazer. There is no lapel break, which creates an elongated neckline, and the hemline of the blazer ends just below the hip, which balances the proportions since she's wearing slightly wide leg jeans. And if you think about it, it's very similar to a short kurta, so it's a very universally flattering silhouette, and length also works really well for Indian bodies. In contrast, you have this boxy, oversized blazer that hangs from the shoulder straight down without contouring any part of the waist or the body. It is intentionally masculine and slouchy, going for that oversized street style model of duty look. It's also a longer length, and the actress has styled it by rolling up her sleeves, which reveal the inner lining, and that just makes the look a lot more casual. It's a cooler vibe than the first one. But if you ask me, my personal favorite, if you know me now, is the first one. Simply because it's harder to find. I think the second one is easy to replicate into cheaper options and can be hard to ascertain if it is good quality or not. The first one simply just looks tailored to the wearer, and I think that creates all the difference no matter what you choose to wear. If your outfit looks like it was made for you, it automatically looks elevated. Now for my most favorite trick up my sleeve, it is the foundation layers, which is whatever it is you wear inside your outfits, because that sets the tone for how the outfit sits on your body and then eventually how it looks and the shape it gives you. It's basically achieving the best of points 1 and 2, but in like a hacky way, so that even some of your cheaper outfits can look elevated. And in fact, this goes a long way, because if your outfits are not tailored, if they don't look like they were made for you, if they don't sit right on your body, it won't matter how expensive they are, because they're just not fitting you that impressively. Now, I have with me this underskirt, which has a slight lace detail at the bottom. It's very old, almost to the point that the elastic is quite worn out, and I wear it under this sheer skirt that I have, an asymmetric sort of high-low hemline skirt. So the lace kind of just peeks through here. Maybe I'll try and attach a picture, which is why it helps to have a slightly flowy underskirt with a slight lace detailing versus just a plain bodycon nude colored underskirt or shaping skirt. The reason I'm pulling up some of my old outfits is because I've worn them so often, and the combinations that work with them, such as this, make them for truly staple pieces in my closet, because ultimately it is the pieces you reach out for again and again. So once I started to incorporate some base layers into my outfits is how I also started to learn to appreciate shapewear and what it does for creating a silhouette for your body regardless of your size. I look at it as an essential innerwear piece when wearing certain kind of outfits for sure. For instance, something like this, which is a slightly well-fitted t-shirt and pants that have a defined waist. It really helps if there is a layer underneath it, because then it also helps my top from riding up if it's a softer material like this. So in the search for comfy modern shapewear is how I created my own brand called Core. It is a collection of shapewear and other essential innerwear pieces that are all meant to perform, to make the lives easier for modern women who are always on the go. It's made of buttery smooth fabric. You don't get this quality here in India at all, and definitely not at the price that I'm bringing it to you. So I hope you check it out and you tell me what you think of it. And here's one of my favorite pieces. It looks so tiny. There's an extra small size is what I wear. I'm wearing the high-waisted shorts version of this, not the bodysuit today. I'm happy to take custom requests, figure out if there's something we can do for your size, for particular styles that may not be available right now. Think of this as your brand. Think of this as the brand you're creating. And maybe, who knows, someday it becomes one of those consumer-owned companies. But moving on, when you do wear luxurious, comfortable, well-fitted innerwear pieces like this, it gives your outer layers the best base, and they sit so well, and it helps you move so gracefully and with the utmost confidence, because you're well taken care of and everything is exactly how you would like it to be. Now on to some of the staples in my wardrobe. The first one is this white top that's really baggy, really long, with really puffy, beautiful sleeves. The first time that I saw it, I thought it looks really artistic and was very excited about getting it. It's almost as long as or even longer than a kurta. You could classify it in either categories. It's a very versatile piece. I wear it with wide leg trousers, with leggings. It just goes with everything. I love living in it. And most of the pieces in my wardrobe are white. Although people say that you should have basics, like a basic white tee and a basic black tee, somehow I have some kind of embellishment in all of them. For instance, even the black t-shirt I'm wearing right now has little flower details and little sequins here. I have these white tops which will either have some kind of a sleeve detail. This one is beautiful, although again this is also really old. This one is a boxier fit and has this blue sleeve. I also have one white again, which has a black and gold lace on the sleeves, and that one is slightly more body hugging. Curating some flattering denims in all different kinds of options, and I'll tell you what I mean by options, has also been a life hack. My top 3 are these 2 high-waisted denims. One is from Levi's and it's a straight cut, and the other is from H&M. It's a slightly wider leg. Both are wide, but this one is wide and kind of baggy, and the first one is completely straight. And I also like these mid-rise jeans that I have from Mango, which have a boot cut or like a flare at the bottom. I also love these 2 trousers that I have from Marks & Spencer. As you can tell, they're again wide but almost straight. They don't flare at the bottom. You have these another beige pair of pants, but slightly formal ones, which I've worn a lot. These are great for the office because they're like pajamas, but then they look formal like pants. I think every office goer needs something like this in her closet, so that you're serving formal looks but also being super comfy at the same time. So these look really chic, and I've realized that the wide leg that goes straight looks much smarter than a tapered down pant. I was really into the tapered pant look. I still have a few, but I've realized that they tend to be slightly shorter. So when I sit, they kind of go up a little. I just feel like it cuts my height a little, whereas these ones have been perfect for my height. So the point is, every outfit that you repeat, the ones that you automatically reach out for in the closet, are the ones that have one thing in common, all of them. It is the fact that they make you feel confident. And that, my friends, is your staple. Whatever outfit, whatever combination makes you feel your best is your staple outfit, and not the other way around. Your inner confidence will always trump everything else. So whatever makes you feel great, do that. You do you. But if you're still trying to understand your personal style and dig a little deeper, here's where I'm going to drop another really important tip, which is to understand your body proportions. Now, body proportions are not the same as body size or looking at your body in isolation. For instance, it is not saying that my shoulders are broad, my hips are narrow, but my shoulders are narrower than my hips. And that brings us into the whole category of body shapes and how to dress as per your body, which is, the entire triangle, inverted triangle, hourglass, pear, apple, just different ways of explaining the same thing. So I'm not going to get into the depth of that in this video, but if it's something you're interested in, I'll drop a link in the description. There are some wonderful in-depth videos on this, and if you would still like me to break it down, then of course you know what to do. Tell me in the comments. Finally, we've reached accessories, my favorite. Accessories are such a secret agent. Let's start with jewelry. You want to look at the weight and the polish of the metal. High-end brands use something known as champagne gold. Now this is very, very hard to find because most of the jewelry that you get is a yellow gold, or of course a silver or a rose gold. Personally, for me, I have not really been a fan of rose gold, and maybe that's because I feel it doesn't really go with my complexion, but perhaps rose gold is your color, and that comes down to the color theory bit, which is again a huge topic which we should cover separately. So there is also something known as two-toned metal. Kate Spade does two-toned metals really well, which is a blend of gold and silver, so that the finish of the item or the product is super flattering, makes it more universal. I like my jewelry to look timeless, and you can play around with shapes and forms here too. For instance, the hoops that I'm wearing are maybe a little hexagon shaped, or like a tube which is almost hexagon shaped, which is a slightly less popular choice of hoops. And I also like the fact that it loops around and closes all the way. I'm not a big fan of hoops that halfway open. I think that also looks incomplete. So that's how you can play around with jewelry and make sure it has these finishing touches. The same rule on polish and weight of metals applies to the chains that you have on your bags. There are chains that are lightweight and very yellow gold, and that is very, very easy to tell. So the clasps, zips, hooks, chains are a giveaway for the quality of the product, and you want to make sure that you notice those along with everything else we discussed on construction that applies here. My staple is this mid-size bag that I have. It's an interesting shape that goes with most outfits. It's a suede finish. Zip and hooks are not as champagne gold as I'd like them to be, but they're not a stark yellow gold. Now, a classic traditional watch, I think, is what a lot of us are missing. It is very elegant, very timeless, very gentlemanly or ladylike. And here I have some pet peeves. It doesn't matter if you're wearing a watch with a leather strap. Mine's faux leather, by the way. I try and not use leather as much as possible. I think by now anything that is leather that remains in my wardrobe is an old gift, but I have tried to avoid buying leather, and that's on personal principle and personal value system, but you do you. The strap can be whatever, but I've seen some people wear the watch really tightly, very close to the wrist, like maybe here, or very loose and dangly, something like this. I mean, I don't think people do that with the strappy watches as much as they do it with the metallic strap ones, where it's just kind of like a bangle. I just think that's really, I want to say floppy. Why do I want to say floppy? I think it's really clumsy. And again, if you think about it, it's the same as, it seems like the watch isn't fitting you. It's like tailoring in that sense. Perfect spot to wear it is about an inch below your wrist or this wrist bone. And I'm also not a big fan of huge dials. I think the watch should be proportionate to your wrist size. Now this may be controversial, but I wear these sparkly Birkenstocks with almost all my outfits. This is my summer staple. I also wear it with Indian outfits, also wear it with pants. Now again, these are not leather. My winter staple is just any pair of white shoes or trainers. So it's fairly simple to standardize and make your personal style and your look. And these are the pieces to invest in, a good pair of shoes, a nice sturdy bag, a good watch, some nice pair of trousers or jeans, because these are the pieces that will last you years and years and also become a part of your personal style and what you wear and what you should proudly also repeat. And especially for accessories, as you can tell, my personal style is comfort over everything else, especially when it comes to my feet. Of course, there are some styles that are trending which I think are super cute, and I'll attach those. And that's all from me for this video. I hope you enjoyed and this was useful. As always, I love reading your comments. I'm really enjoying building this channel and this community with you. You've all been so wonderful and so kind to me. I hope we get to know each other a lot more through the weeks, through the months, hopefully through the years. Thank you and bye-bye. I'll see you in the next one.